I can find it, all the turret types are... I know it's here. The 5 turret types are rifle turret, thumper turret, net turret, flame turret, and healing turret. So yeah, those are 5 turrets, and you can have all 5 out at a time, but they are support skills. So essentially, you can have 3 turrets out at a time, and maybe a 4th if the 4th turret winds up being an elite skill. Maybe all 5 at a time if the healing turret is put into slot 6.
The Guild Wars monkey, thumper turret, the spice must flow. Thumper turret, that is
Thumper turret, release the bunnies.
Oh,
release the bunnies. Release the bunny thumpers.
Did they say if any of the turrets will have cross-profession combinations with them? Like the flamer turret working like a firewall, maybe?
I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure you guys put the like firewall and put the turret and have it shooting through the wall. I'm sure that's part of it.
I'm sure maybe. Basic, like flame, since it's any kind of flame, has been able to do that with ranger and projectiles now. They're considering other cross-professions with the engineer as well. Like he has one skill, which is an oil slick, which knock down any foes that run into it.
That on fire.
Yeah, they're looking into if setting that on fire to be a possible cross-profession to do with an elementalist or anyone who has access to fire. Like a fire projectile. A projectile goes through an engineer's flame turret to hit an oil slick far away to set it on fire. I don't...
Wow, that'd be crazy.
It's kind of specific, but we'll see.
Now, another question that was brought up, I believe, in the... Okay. Well, one more thing that was noted, like actually in some of the foreign posts, is that why would one of the professions, like races, actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back a second. Races, why would a race actually choose an engineer as profession? Because some of the races don't accept technology as a means of fighting or much of anything. For instance, like Norn. So. But in the video, so we actually see a Norn, what we think is probably a Norn, using engineer skills. What do you think the reasoning is that other professions would want to use, like an engineer as one of the optional professions for it to use? Like, would it, like lore-wise, I guess you could say? Because there's been a lot of lore issues, like saying, well, this profession probably or this race probably wouldn't want to use that profession.
Well, the lore in that sense doesn't matter because it's more about what the players want. And ArenaNet has been clear to specify that while each class kind of has its own flavor and technique, and you'll see NPCs of a lot of one profession, like the Sylvari, you probably won't see any Sylvari NPC engineers except maybe like your skills trainer, because that's not...
I disagree. I think that, like, the Sylvari, because they're so, like, they want to see new things, they'll want to try out this thing called technology. I think
that'd be pretty awesome. So, what does this button do?
So basically, Punch, you're saying, like curiosity is going to kill the cat. You're thinking that, like, basically Sylvari's going to be interested in doing that because they're so curious with the world and everything. And how they can pick up a sword, like, oh, wow, I know how to use this kind of deal. So you're thinking they're going to be drawn into the engineer class, even though they're kind of a nature background.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Very good reason right there. Yeah, good tilt down.
And then about characters choosing, or about people choosing, like, the engineer as a Norn, even though it doesn't fit their lore, because you're creating the character and ArenaNet really wants you to make your own character with his own story. You can make a Norn who's, like, interested in the world and technology and wants to break away from the old, like, Norn close fighting, like, big muscles fighting, and wants to try out new things. So, I mean, you're making your own character. You don't have to be, like, held back by the lore.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know Melchior wants to get into the kits, but there's one more thing I want to look at, and that's the grenades, actually. because I had the grenades video ready. So. Actually, before I get into the grenades, just real quick, you are watching a video podcast. This is actually the first time actually ever really doing a full video podcast. I know if you were following along through the history of all this, we have been doing radio shows beforehand, and we actually did a video live show from PAX East, interviewing all the developers and like that. So, so this is the first video podcast that we actually are doing. Please give us feedback on if you like this or not. Like if you actually like being able to see us talking right straight to you on camera and like that, and giving actual visual examples as we're talking instead of just kind of pasting a link into the chat area. So please give us feedback if you actually like the video interaction and such. All right. So really quick, we're going to switch over to the grenade section. Is each grenade you think is going to be its own skill, you think?
Yes. That's a definite, because you will get the grenade kit, which is a utility skill. You activate it, and then your first 5 skills, or whatever number of grenades they have, will change. So you get the basic incendiary grenade, which we've been told has no recharge timer, so you can just throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. It probably doesn't do that much damage, but it's AoE. You get that poison grenade, which we just saw. You get the freezing grenade. You get a flashbang grenade. What's that for? And I guess a 5th grenade of some kind.
Right. So and each one is going to be its own skill, though. You're saying.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot of space in the bar being taken up, though.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be something like choose a grenade, like it flashes every like half a second, and then you just click on whichever grenade you want.
No, it's a grenade kit, because it's one of the toolkits, so it's a utility skill. You activate it, and so now you got something else in your hand. So your first 5 skills are changing. That's your grenade kit.
Okay.
And so then that's it. But if you have the grenade kit equipped on your bar, then you have those 4 things at the top, F1 through F4. That's your tool belt. That gives you access to one like special skill to always use whatever toolkit you have equipped. So you might always have access to an incendiary grenade, no matter what toolkit you are currently in.
So basically, when you have the grenade toolkit set, it's going to turn into like the Guardian's abilities, where you can do the instead of doing aura, you can actually do the actual shield and like that. So you're basically saying it's going to turn like the Guardian type skills with the F1 through whatever keys, however many there are.
Yeah, yeah, elemental attunement ish.
This is starting to suck for me because I want to use the number pad. And that ain't
you can
more
bind
skills.
the keys whatever you want, boss.
Yeah, I know, but now they're adding more like keys and stuff. Like I thought it was like 10. I'm like, oh, I can use 0 through 9. That's my 10 skills. Well, no, now they're adding another 3 or 4 on top of that. So I'm going to start using \* minus plus key, I guess. I don't know. What else about the toolkits that you were talking about?
The tool belt
is
essentially an emergency function to always use like the basic components of a particular kit, even if it's not currently active.
Oops.
So the heal kit, the tool belt skill for it is a self heal for yourself. The tool belt skill for the grenades, I believe, was, I said incendiary. That's kind of a speculation on my part. The tool belt skill for the mine kit is a way to detonate your mines even though the mine kit isn't active. So you can put all mines on the field, and then actually each mine corresponds to a different button. So if you got the mine kit active, you can detonate each mine individually. Like, I want to get this one, but I don't want to get this one. But if you then go out of the mine kit and all your mines are still on the ground, I need you to get that. Then you can go to the tool belt skill for the mine kit, and it'll detonate them all at once.
Yeah,
it's a way to get the basic function out of any kit, no matter which one is currently active.
I think we're going to be seeing the mine kit a lot in War vs. World. That's going to be powerful.
Yes.
Good if
Oh, yes.
God.
Put a bunch of mines by the door they run through. Bam.
Okay, well.
Say hi. You're gonna be shown on
you
camera
get a pat
in
on the
about
head. You get a pat on the head from
10
your mom.
seconds. Hey, she just walked in the door. It's the last day of school, so they went and had a good time.
All right, I see.
And that's my fiance.
Well, there you go. There. Now let's go down that road. Let's go down the PvP road. Now, where do you see this guy in PvP? Is he going to be overpowered, Punch? Do you think?
I don't think he's going to be overpowered. Because I don't see him as a very high armor, he's going to be weak when it comes to thieves. Like, if a thief sees an engineer, that's who's he straight away. Just, I see an engineer, bam, he's dead. But if he's like supported by other characters, like you're defending something, he's going to be probably the most important role in defending.
Okay. What do you think there, Mal? Like, how do you think, how powerful of a role do you think he's going to have in PvP?
Oh my gosh, I just got tickled. Anyway.
We got a close-up of your chest. That was great.
I'm sure everyone will love that. Anyway. A role in PvP. This guy is going to be crucial for defending any points whatsoever. He's going to turn into a heavily defensive character. When he's out on the run, assaulting points, I don't know how great his effectiveness will be. His AoE will definitely help, but even though he can go in and out, he doesn't seem as mobile as the other professions, like out of combat or for fast movement. He's the guy that when he's in combat, he can do a number of things to get around. When he's out of combat, he's kind of just stationary. That's how I see him.
Well, not really, because he has a range skill. I mean, he has his pistols, he has his rifles, he can stay at range. You still have the dodge roll side to side, which we saw during the demos and stuff like that. I mean, Punch, you're saying same with me, like you don't see it that way.
Yeah, but as in like an attacking role, like taking out points, depending on the
You're probably at the top of the hour. It's 9:35.
Far range. I mean, he could be just bombarding places, like slowly taking out the enemies. But like Melchior said, he's definitely more of a defensive character. We'll see guys like warriors and rangers taking out points while engineer will stay behind.
I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that. I'm sure that I think you're as an engineer. I'm pretty sure that you can like set yourself up in an area, because if you're going to be in a 5v5 combat, depending on how big the map is going to be, I'm pretty sure that as an engineer you can actually set yourself up, put a turret down in a location to guard your back, guard your behind, put a mine down, guard your behind, and you actually can push in a separate side area and you can backdoor like that, because you're pretty much you can be very self-sustaining and put out a lot of damage too at the same time, because you have so many heal skills, you have so many abilities to just put stuff behind you and protect yourself and spread yourself out to what you need to do in order to complete certain tasks. So I think you can play a very good forward role as an engineer. I don't see him being fully defensive.
I think that might work in instance or in interior areas. But I think World v. World is going to be very open, so being able to cover multiple objectives or hide behind a corner and take out this entryway with the turrets while covering this entryway with grenades or mines, I don't think it'll be as effective in open World v. World where it's like, oh, there's a mine. Walk around? I'm sure there will be choke points where they'll be useful, or at the keep where there will probably be some kind of interior. But aside from that, I mostly see the engineer for defense.
And Melchior, you said you played Global Agenda. I think, this just came to my mind, I think that we'll see the engineer kind of as like sneaking up behind, placing some turrets behind the enemy lines. Then just
I can't wait to see that.
That's
I love doing that in Global Agenda.
Exactly what happens.
That'll be fantastic.
And it is super powerful. I mean, you can take out anything as long as you have the good like engineer turret backup. Just sneak around, place the turrets, and then out of nowhere you're just getting bombed and destroyed.
You guys are already tactically planning stuff out.
Yeah, I'm already like a level 27 Robo in Global Agenda. Punch Key, we gotta play.
Oh, I haven't played in a while. I played with some of the mobile guys. Haven't been on there in a while though.
Is this the game that you were talking about a little while ago?
Yes.
Is that the game? Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Go try another game out.
See, I bought it and then 2 days after it went free, so I was kind of mad.
Well, I got the free version and I still wound up buying it because the development company's from Georgia, so I'm just supporting one of my fellow people.
Actually, you know what I heard the other day is, remember that game that Azari mentioned that was a flop? That like died like 3 months after it was released? It's kind of like a...
All Points Bulletin?
Yeah, it's coming out back out again.
I know, it's restarting up.
Yeah, it's restarting up again. Got bought out by another company. Is actually gonna be coming back. So it's like an RPG, MMORPG, Grand Theft Auto kind of deal.
It's Grand Theft Auto MMO.
Yeah. Which sounds awesome.
Basically.
But the business model when it originally came out was really, really bad, apparently, from what Azari was saying. And now they're actually making, I believe it's like free to play now.
I can't remember.
So that's actually a good game you might want to try out. I actually have been closed beta testing Rise of Immortals. That's another tower defense game, much like League of Legends and Han. Don't really like that game, I'll tell you right now. I'm doing a review of it. They'll be posted on VidThru.com in the future. Don't really like that game either.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be shown on camera. Please leave.
Up, down, ouch.
Yes.
You should have picked a better location than smack dab in the middle of the house. You better. Hey, but Mal, you should have picked a better location than smack dab in the middle of the house, though.
I would have, but my fiance's here before she goes to summer classes, so I want to be with her. Tough luck, guys.
Oh boy. All right. We gotta rib on Malkara once in a while here. So far for races, professions. Oh, actually, before we move on for out of the professions entirely, one profession left. What's gonna be?
Mesmer.
Mesmerish thing. I don't know. We'll see what they call it.
It won't be any other name. It'll be Mesmer, because Mesmer is the iconic profession of Guild Wars. No other game has come even close to replicating it. The one game I say that is somewhat familiar is the Mentalist from Olids Online, and that's it.
But Punch, like, how do you think the Mesmer will be different in Guild Wars 2 than Guild Wars 1? Because of the way the dynamics of the game is going to be, like, it's going to be more of a 3D environment area. And I haven't really seen too much targeting wise in Guild Wars 2. How do you think it's going to, like, be played out in Guild Wars 2 wise for a Mesmer?
I kind of see the Mesmer as... You know, in Guild Wars 1 they were casters, they had a wand or a staff. I see them kind of with like a sword now and a pistol, kind of like sword playing around and being all sneaky like. I don't know, I don't give much thought. I'm really just hoping to be surprised by hearing that.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what they're gonna do with the Mesmer. I mean, it's gotta be some sort of a... I mean, Mesmer, when you think Mesmer, you're thinking manipulative role. You're thinking you're forcing
it's gonna be something about...
You're forcing the other team to do something different. You're forcing the team to do what you want them to do, not what they want to do. So
that's what the engineer's about now.
Something like...
Yeah.
Maybe we'll, instead of like being hidden, I think we'll see like illusions, actual illusions. Like you can create an illusion of itself, or your teammates, or even like NPCs or objects on the ground, like a catapult or something. I don't know. I think we'll actually get to see illusions made from the Mesmer instead of just like hazing your vision or something.
Someone's saying in the chat, possibly mind control. I kind of hope they don't go there, because it's one thing to be CC'd, it's another thing to be CC'd with someone else controlling your character and throwing them off the top of Thunder Bluff. It's really fun, but it's kind of cheap.
Yeah, that's a very cheap thing. I don't want total mind control where you actually force the character in a different direction. Because I mean, one CC that is used in some games is fear, where you actually force force whatever your target is to turn around and run back in a direction or some other means. Total
I
mind
don't,
control
I
is
don't,
just really, you're starting to get in a gray area of balance.